she has a beautiful place, beautiful family, and
amazing.
I'm friends with her on Facebook. I get to see her go do all her holidays over there, and they need time off and everything, just like people here. Just treat them like people, man, and they'll give you, because most people don't. Like, most people are just like, computer program, fix this, and that's how they treat them. And she was like, I just can't believe you treat me. I was like a person. And she's like a human being. I mean, like, I know you're like, you have feelings and stuff like that. So if you just do that, like, treat them like human beings, give them incentives, treat them right, you'll never have a problem like that. They will work their butts off for you. Hire fast, fire faster. Though that's one of the things. Like, a lot of times they don't get it. I've had VAs that they were awesome VAs. They just couldn't get the job, and once I let them go, like, the job would go forward. But they would try and that's the thing. I hated to get rid of them because they tried so hard. Sure. But it's like, you just can't get the job. So I freed them up to seek employment elsewhere. And
gotcha.
So just fire faster, hire quick, fire quick. There's plenty of them out there. The great thing is you don't have to pay unemployment and all that other stuff. And then just watch your financials. Make sure that you aren't sending, because even if they're not stealing from you, somebody could intercept in the middle. So you sort of got to make sure that you're using some kind of software. I use Buildium. I'll use AppFolio, so they don't have any credit card information themselves. I'll send them the link. They'll put in their credit card information, so it never goes to the Philippines. The credit card information never goes to the Philippines.
Gotcha. So, makes sense.
So, sounds great, man. Keep it up. I mean, you're crushing it. I love that. I love your growth. And you're at that point now that if you continue to grow and continue doing what you're doing, you're going to fall flat on your face. You've got to get some help.
Yeah, I'm working 10 to 12 hours a day, it feels like. So I'm at the point where I really need to start hiring out help. Yes,
no, absolutely. And you can't, there's no way you can go to Thailand if you're working 12 hours a day now, and then you're going to just get up and leave. What's going to happen to all those projects and all that stuff?
I think if I stopped growing, then I'd be just fine. If I just stuck to property management. But if I want to continue growing, I'd have to hire help for sure.
Let me tell you the first thing that happens on vacation. All your tenants move out, and all of them, the sewer line, and the rest of them, the sewer, half of them move out, and the other half, the sewer lines break. Okay? I'm just telling you, like, we know good and well, like, especially the first 2 days we're leaving on vacation, make sure somebody's there to man the phones, and my son is just like, oh, crap, because it's going to happen. Like, I guarantee you, as soon as you leave, the sewer line's going to back up. Like, and whatever you thought is that one thing, because you're the magic in your business. Sure. And the things that you do, that you're just like, oh, yeah, I just got up and called Steven and it was taken care of, or I just got up and turned that screw. It wasn't a problem. All of a sudden becomes a big problem because you're not here. So just get ready. I know you've already got this deal planned, but most people, what they'll do is leave for a week, and then 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks, and then go to Thailand. But this works too.
Yeah, and I still plan to work when I'm over there at least 8 hours a day. Yeah, it's less of a vacation. I'm going to be moving there to train MMA. So I still plan to work quite a bit. I just won't be here in Oklahoma.
Yeah, but it's the time shift that's going to be the problem.
It's going to be hard. Yeah, I'm going to have to work at night.
Yeah,
so
that's going to be your biggest problem, is you got the time shift. I remember when Jack moved over there, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to do the same thing." Well, it was 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when he was have to work because of the time shift. Same thing with my assistant. Like, she works a night shift. I'll see her. I'll look up at her computer all the time. It'll be like 5 a.m. She's working. Yeah. She's still working, and they sort of sleep when they work and work when they sleep, and they have an interesting dynamic with their kids and stuff like that. So, yeah, get ready. It'll be a great learning experience for you.
I hope so.
No, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy for you, dude. I can't wait. So, how long you planning on being in Thailand?
6 or 12 months.
Woo.
Probably.
Okay,
so I applied for a visa for 6 months, and I can extend it another 6 months if I want to. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, you better. My advice to you is, as soon as we end this conversation, go get on your phone and start hiring people, because you need to hire 2 people and fire at least one of them before you leave. Gotcha. Or maybe hire 3 people and fire 2 of them before you leave. Right? You got to go find that rock star ASAP. That's going to be rocking and rolling with you. Of course, it might be really cool because you might actually get to work side by side with them in the Philippines, working the night shift with them. That might actually be sort of cool to actually train somebody in the Philippines. That should be really cool. Yeah, but dude, you gotta get that moving because it
Yeah.
takes a while, and like there's so many different things when you go hire somebody virtually. It amazes me how many things don't correlate to America. So many things that you do there that you don't do here. Simple things like paying taxes, or how they pay taxes, or how the government works, or turning utilities on. Like explaining how to turn utilities on to somebody who's in the Philippines, who everybody over there just steals electricity, and everybody gets water out of the creek. And you try and explain that to somebody that's going through that situation, and then you try to explain here, like, no, you have to go to the city, go submit a permit. Oh, and then for them to submit a permit could take 3 to 6 months, 9 months in Thailand to go get something done. Building permits could take forever there. They have a really weird government. And so when they get done here, they're expecting a 6 months. And it's like, no, it's just literally, they just want their $25. Here in Oklahoma, they just want their $25 service fee. It's not a big deal. And so it takes a little bit of time for them to learn some of those some of those little bitty details, especially since you're the detail guy. I'm not the detail guy at all. Like, I have no idea what the details are even. I just want it done. So if you're the detail guy and you have all these little details, some of that stuff is going to be hard for you. You'll be surprised the things that they get stuck on.
That makes sense.
Okay. You'll be surprised. Like the things that you're like, oh yeah, that's like, I have it all right here in my SOPs. And they'll just be like, oh, I mean, I can't, I'm right now have to buy a computer so my assistant can log in virtually on my computer here in the United States because she is having problems doing certain tasks because they won't allow her to do it in the Philippines. And even with the VPN, that she can't do it. Simple thing like looking up OSCN, you can't do it.
Really?
You can't look up OSCN overseas.
Even with the VPN?
VPN sometimes, but sometimes they'll still catch you.
Interesting.
Wow. Yeah. You can't do a VPN overseas. You can't do Oklahoma County tax assessor overseas. Like they have to use a VPN, which also slows you down. So as with those VPNs and stuff like that, like you click on it and you have to wait a second. Then you click on that and you have to wait a second. So they have to draw some delays there. So it's just little things like that. They closed my Google Voice account because evidently we broke policy laws or something like that. And we broke it twice. Once when we went to Mexico, evidently you weren't supposed to use it from Mexico, and they closed us down. And we had another one. And then once our VA did it, they shut us down permanently.
Wow.
So Google Voice isn't usable. You can't use Google Voice. So, there's just a lot of little things like that now it's sort of cool too, because like we're going with AppFolio, and going through AppFolio, we're like, does it work? Does it work in the Philippines, Mexico, and Mexico, Costa Rica, and Guatemala? It's like I need these 4 countries. Does it work in these 4 countries? And she's like, hang on, let me go check. Oh, it does. Okay.
So there's a cell phone service that comes with AppFolio?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's not a cell phone, but it is a phone service that goes with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Right now, we're using Go High Level and a couple other systems, and that's why we're trying to streamline it. Mostly for our virtual assistants, because once you move over from an American-based call center, basically is what you have, and you move it outside, you're going to have just a few things like that.
Got it.
So Google Voice was one of the biggest things that, like right off the bat, boom, cut us off, and we had that thing for 9 years. All of our tenants, everybody had that number for 9 years, and they just
seems like a huge disruption.
Yeah, especially because a lot of our people that like they don't. It was a lot.
I use Google Voice right now, so that's good to know that that could be an upcoming problem to deal with.
If you go to the Philippines, it's going to be a problem. And even if you go to the Philippines, you probably won't work. It probably won't work.
Wow, that's an issue.
Yeah, it's going to be a big issue for you. And then with the VPN, it doesn't work because there's a delay. So,
gotcha.
Even if you use it here in the and then you do that VPN, that it gives you that 3-second or 4-second delay, and it's going to be it'll sound like you're a scammer.
I see.
And that's the problem is like then you sound like a scammer. There's so many scams going on right now that tenants are already scared to go put their money into an ATM or put their money anywhere. I don't know about you guys. I am too. Like I want to use a credit card. And if I tell you tell a tenant to go put $200 cash into a Pay Near Me account, like they need to be confident that you're a real person. And that's been a problem for us. That's another one of the big problems with going virtual.
Gotcha.
Is getting that, keeping that reputation up.
I see. So, and you're going from Buildium to AppFolio right now? Okay. I use Buildium right now myself, so I'm interested to see how that goes.
Me too. I'm moving over to AppFolio right now. Yeah, like like we haven't paid for it yet. We're about to move over to AppFolio. We just finished with the conversations and all that stuff. So why are we moving? The phone system and all the integrations that goes with it. It's sort of like if you guys have ever used like Zoho or something like that. That's like a out of the box CRM that you have to build and put together. Versus Go High Level, which is already integrated. You don't have to use Zapier and all those other things to get them to talk to each other, all the systems to talk to each other. And so the nice thing I like about it is when you pull it up, you have the phone system is there, your tenant is there, the tenant's information is there, the lease is there for each and every property that you have. The phone number is there, the email is there, the Facebook account is there. Everything is right there in one spot. So I'm communicating with them. If I communicate through email or through text or whatever, it's all in one spot. I don't have to have 15 windows up. So right now we have 8 to do just like a work order. There's 8 windows that has to be up. We'll now have 1 up. And so that's a big deal because you have to take it from Buildium, send it over to the maintenance man, put it in the maintenance request, make sure the maintenance guy gets it done, do the maintenance thing, and then take the photos back into Buildium, put them in the Google Drive. Just a lot of back and forths. So, and then making sure that then the forms are in Google Drive. So we're using Google Forms. Send over the forms into Google Drive in the Google Forms, and then the other thing is Buildium will not let us. You have to have a social to go through the process, the check-in process, and most of my tenants don't have socials. So that's also a problem. And even if if it's one of those new Biden socials that they gave out, that's a social that's not a real social or whatever, it doesn't register it, and so it flags it as fraud and won't let them go through the process. So we'll have to use Google Forms to capture their information, and then manually putting the information into Buildium, and then running our own background checks and stuff. So allegedly, it's going to eliminate. I realize that about 20 to 30% of my employees' time was spent on copy and paste. And it was literally copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, 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 3 different spots, 3 different spots, 3 different spots. Now, once again, I'm not detailed at all. So half of those copy paste wouldn't happen. But my wife, who runs the office, is extremely detailed. And she likes to keep us out of lawsuits and stuff like that. So she makes sure that she documents everything. And so that was the big benefits. The disadvantage is I'm going to have to set up that secondary computer because it won't do Facebook Marketplace, unfortunately. And that's where we get about 90% of our tenants. And it doesn't record phone calls. And I have to have phone calls recorded. I'm just not going to do it again without my business phone being recorded. So all phone calls being recorded and those kind of things. So that's the 2 drawbacks that I found to it so far for my business. It also comes with unlimited storage, so no more using Google Drive for everything else. The other nice thing is when this lady quit the other day, my wife spent 4 hours taking her out of the system.
Wow.
4 hours. That was the phone. Had to take her out of the Google Drive. Had to take her out of the phone system. Had to move her out of the payment system. Had to move her out of this. Had to do this. Had to do this. Had to do this. With the new one, will literally be one button. We'll move her out of the system. One button. We can add in a person and give them access to, and then we can literally go through the line and be like, give them access to email, give them access to this, give them access to this. They don't get this. They don't get this. And it also has payment systems in there as well. So right now we have a third-party payment system to pay all the utilities. With this, evidently, they will be able to pay directly through the system for no additional fee and pay all the utility bills, which once again takes a whole nother system, a whole nother process. Game changer. And I had to hand my virtual assistant a credit card or some kind of payment system because they have to put all the information. So I have to trust that person with the credit card as well. With this other system, I only have to trust them with the last 4 digits. And it'll automatically pay all the bills. So I feel like it's going to be a big pain in the rear.
I can imagine
to do it, and that's one of the reasons. It's one of the reasons I'm going to go hire. I think I'm going to go hire 3 people and keep 2 of the 3. But I want that extra person just for this task of moving over all these tenants and all the communication. And then whoever's the dog in the group, I'll get rid of that person. So hire 3, keep 2 is my plan.
Are you going to go to Upwork to find someone who specializes in transitioning into AppFolio?
No. I want my employees. I'm not an employee. I actually want to go find me a person who's a professional in AppFolio is what I'm looking for.
Okay.
So everybody I'm looking for has to have property management experience, has to be bilingual, and has to have some experience in at least property management software. But if they say they already know AppFolio, they're probably going to get the job.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because before I could tell them that they're doing it wrong. Now I can't even tell them they're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So because it's going to be a brand new process, a brand new, and we're also setting up a new company as well. So it's actually we're setting up a new property management company at the same time. So it's
Why is that?
taxes and liability reasons.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So our attorney with our probate stuff, they're going to set it up with property management company and set different boxes
Gotcha.
and just do that. So I don't know. That's what they told me to do.
What is the price comparison like between Buildium and AppFolio?
It depends on how many users you have.
Okay.
Because Buildium goes by users. We're only going to pay an extra $100 a month or $100 a year for the other system, but I'm not paying for my phones. So right now I'm paying about $150 a month for my phones, so I won't have to pay for phone service. So with that being said, it's going to be about $100 a year for AppFolio, but I can go to 200 homes with the same price. Whereas Buildium, every 10 or 20 they add on to your cost.
Gotcha.
So that's the
Makes
difference.
sense, yeah.
So when you first start, if you're going to stay under, I found the research I've done is all my friends that have under 100 homes are very happy with Buildium. All the guys who have over 100 houses are very happy with AppFolio. So I feel like that's if you're going to grow and you're like, hey, I'm going to have 300 homes or I'm going to build it up to this thing that might be beneficial to you to switch over to AppFolio. But if you're not going to grow to 400 or 500 homes, or if you're not going to do that, or if you're going to go to study abroad or do something like that, then it might not make sense. You've got your Buildium, you already got it set up, keep with what you got.
Sure.
And it really wasn't until I started hiring a lot of assistants, and then I got in there and I started seeing how much copying and pasting and how much was going back and forth and building the leases. And then Buildium doesn't have the lease built in there the way I want it, where each of my properties has its own special lease. So that was another problem, is they started doing some back and forth things, and then they also charge per lease signing. So my wife uses a secondary system to do the lease signings, whereas in AppFolio they're all included. So I forget what program that is, but both of them have Pay Near Me, which is where 80% of my income comes through Pay Near Me. So
Gotcha.
That's the nice thing.
Got it.
So
Good to know.
anyway, all right. Any more questions, comments, concerns? We got a guy up here that scaled up his bit. Come on, youngster, ask him something. He bought 40 homes in 4 years. Built a port. That is probably one of the fastest growths I've seen of any single guy. I won't say that I haven't seen companies grow that fast with multiple partners, but that is some very expressive growth. I got a question for you. What has been your biggest oh my God, what the hell did I do moments? What was some of those things oh my goodness, what did I just do?
I think it was my fourth, fifth, and sixth deal. I bought 3 homes in a package.
Mm-hmm.
After my third property, and I really wasn't prepared to do so. I didn't have the resources. I did it, but a lot of things could have went wrong for sure. Had they not appraised for the refinance, I would have been in a lot of trouble. I didn't have the cash reserves to really do much besides, take a second or third job to pay everything off. Actually, Brian handled that refinance, so thank you for the help on that.
I'm glad it's a positive story.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, had they not appraised, I would have been hurting. I would not
It
be
didn't
here
appraise.
today.
We went bankrupt. Brighton's up next.
That's what I'll be speaking on next.
Yeah. So that would be one of them for sure. And then my first commercial deal, which closed in January, that was pretty scary.
What was that?
2 mobile home parks in San Antonio, Texas,
That you bought, or
that me and partners bought together.
wow? Okay, so I love talking to people I own 40 homes. Oh yeah, and a couple apartment trailer parks.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened with the trailer parks?
It's actually pretty solid. Not a very heavy lift or anything. So me and my partner have been reaching out to brokers, calling sellers direct, trying to get a mobile home park deal under contract for the last year. And a broker brought us this off-market deal. It penciled out on paper and the underwriting. So we got it under contract, and the seller agreed to seller finance the deal
Oh wow.
at 60% of the purchase price. So the purchase price was 1.5 mil for both parks. He agreed to hold a note for 900K at a 5.5% interest rate, 5-year balloon, interest only. So then we're stuck having to raise 600K, which we hadn't done before. So that was the scary part. How do we come up with $600,000? I don't have that much capital in the bank. So I wish. So it was a pretty stressful 2 months going around to conferences and pitching the deal to potential LPs, and then convincing them that we're credible and trustworthy, and that we can see this deal through and make the money.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that you had done that. That is awesome. So, is it making money?
Yeah, it makes pretty good money. We collect about 20 grand a month in rent. The note payments are pretty cheap, like 5 grand a month.
Okay.
It's all city sewer, city utilities, so that's pretty nice. We don't actually own the homes; we just own the lots.
Okay.
So we just lease back the lots to the tenants, so we don't have to worry about maintenance, which is a huge
Wow,
upside.
that's awesome.
It's fairly passive. It's like 90% full, so we have a couple of infills, but nothing crazy.
So, not a huge add value deal here.
No, we're just going to slowly raise rents over time. We're going to do some improvements to the park to justify the rent increases, but not a huge value add. No heavy lifting, thankfully, because I don't think that we don't have the experience just yet to do that. But
No, absolutely. Yeah, but you got it such a great deal that it doesn't really, really need to add in all the value add. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
planning on doing like a cash out refi, paying off everybody here in the next couple of years, or?
refinance or sell in 5 years, whatever makes sense at the time.
Okay. Okay. We'll see what the interest rates and who's the president at the time.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well, you might need to, Brighton, you might need to start working on that loan right now.
Yeah.
While the interest rates are low, you might want to go ahead and get that locked in a 30-year fixed and make sure you got some more options there. That is super cool. So you bought 2 trailer parks and 5 rentals in the last 2 months.
Very busy month.
No wonder you're working. And he's like, oh, yeah, and by the way, I'm leaving for a
Yeah.
year as soon as I get all this done.
Yeah.
You do realize somebody has to maintain all this. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Come on. Yes, sir.
Are you still going to have your rehab, construction company going here?
Yeah, I started that this last month as well, so that's going. It's going good though. I have 10 guys hired. I'm saving quite a bit of money compared to paying outside contractors when I pencil down the numbers. So
Are you going to be big enough to be able to take on other projects of other investors like myself?
that's the plan. Right now I'm just doing my own rehabs, and I took on a rehab for Ivo Pavlov, if you know him. But because I'm so busy with my own rehabs, I've mainly just been doing my own stuff with my construction company.
That's a huge niche that needs to be filled. Just make it where it's a little higher than if we did it all ourselves, and a little lower than the other guys. And you're going to
Yeah.
or Michael.
Yep, I want to be the Lawton contractor, So for all the Oklahoma City investors who are afraid to do rehabs on Lawton, I'll be your guy and take care of it.
That's awesome.
I got one for you right now.
Okay, perfect. I'll let you know if I can handle it right now. But
we can just finally start by. Well, you say you want to do that, but I've tried doing that myself. But I also have a tendency to buy too many houses.
That's the
And
thing,
yeah, I buy way too many houses, and I can never. Everybody's like, "Hey, can you get to my project?" I'm like, "Yeah, next, never." Yeah,
Yeah.
never gonna happen.
I would hate to overpromise and under-deliver, so I want to be very transparent on what I can take on. But I think I could handle one more project, but not much more than that right now.
Just
because I'm
go buy
working on
another house.
Yeah.
Just go buy. Dude, you can't handle anything else. You're leaving in 2 months.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, you're leaving in 2 months. You start a construction business and leave in 2 months. Let me know how that works out. All right. Anything else? Questions, comments, concerns? I've got my questions answered. Come on. I know you got something. Nothing? All right.
Nope, good to go.
All right. You're good to go. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
We'll have Brighton come up here and talk about the numbers of these kind of deals. Okay, Brighton, take it away. Try and
Thank you, Andrew.